Hey guys, this is IntroducingEmy and we're back with another Redline Tuesday, this time sent to us by Chrsuppan, Chrsuppan, and I'm pretty sure this is of Zisteau. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's of Zisteau, a very cool Let's Player who you should check out. He's probably like one of the most professional Minecraft guys ever. I don't know. He runs his maps really well. Wow, we're like really close in, aren't we? Okie dokie. Let's back up. This is kind of a huge image for me. That's okay. I made it this big. So let's lay down the law. Let's put down this guideline. Let's figure out his crotch is basically, and put down another guide. There we go. Alright, cool. So let's get started. So I'm actually going to, I was going to change the pose, but I think the main thing I'm going to do is lower this leg. It's just kinda high. So, and I am going to change the pose just a little bit, but it shouldn't be anything frightening or drastic. So the biggest thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually tilt his chest back, like, so this is his rib cage now from the side and his arms here. I'm actually going to tilt it that way. So this curve is going to appear a lot visually higher. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to draw him kind of like flexing a little bit, like kind of, let me show you. I'll draw it from kind of a 3/4 angle. But sort of like this. And part of the reason I'm changing the pose is because normally I don't harp too much on composition, but having this arm on this knee, like this forearm's coming in front of this knee, and because I'm gonna lower the knee, this arm can't be here anymore without him like kind of twisted and leaning forward more, and also having the sword right here, it kind of comes off as a teens phallic, just a teens, so yeah, that's gonna be what I'm doing here. So, but I mean, hey, if you wanted it to be phallic, I mean, just ignore some of these changes and put that sword right back in front of his groin. I do not care. In fact, to some degree, the more phallic, the better. Okay, so let's see here. So just an FYI, I think next week I'm going to be gone for a few days. I'm going to be driving up north to see some friends, and Redline Tuesday will go up like normal and everything, but I just won't be around to answer questions. I have a habit of getting off the computer for days at a time and just like not checking anything, unless it's like business related, because I'm a good person. It's good to take a break from the computer every now and then. You don't need to be that wired in all the time. Ugh, I feel like I'm not doing a very good job here. I apologize, as always. Gosh, this is like a huge image. Hold on a second. It's actually making it a little hard on my wrist. Let's take it down to like 10 inches here. Okay, that is much better. Okay, so since he has only one leg on the ground for balance, we're going to have to, well, let's drop a plumb line, but we're going to have to move, okay, sorry about that. We're going to have to move his dominant leg, so to speak, the leg that he's putting all his weight on, more under his neck. The further the legs are apart, the harder it is to keep your balance, especially when one's like way up in the air like this. So so I'm trying to think how to do these like little piggy feet that still keep it kind of, yeah, because this is different, that's for sure. Okay, so let's see here, because I'm kind of having to make up anatomy a little bit. White. There we go. So I'm going to turn his foot out a little more so that we can see the piggy contours. I am just not having a good day picking colors, huh? Okay. So I actually kind of forget how piggy feet connect, but I'll just put like a little ruffle of fur around. So let's get some contrapposto going with this hip, meaning we're going to want to angle this a little more. So I guess like I'm just going to cheat. Uh-oh, here we go. Cheating. Stop her. She's mad with power. Where's my thingy? Put it right there. No! There we go. So just a primer, a refresher, if you will. Contrapposto is when the shoulders and the pelvis tilt kind of in a trapezoidal shape, so you know your pelvis is here and your feet. And this is actually how people stand. People generally don't stand, you know, like hua, 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 like Johnny Bravo, like all straight and stiff. People stand, you know, with a little sway in them. Maybe not this much. I'm kind of exaggerating it a little bit, but generally nobody's pelvis and shoulders are going to be perfectly straight in the pictures you draw. So, I mean, I put down these guidelines, and that's just to kind of help me like eyeball about where everything should be. But yeah. So we are going to lower that leg. I'm not totally happy with this foot. Like I said, this is a little different for me because I've never drawn like little piggy feet before, so. I guess this junk would actually be like a lot lower. Zisteau, I'm sorry I'm drawing your piggy junk. It's important though. Let's see. Let's see here. Still doesn't feel great. Oh man, my dog is snoring. I was like, what's that sound? I heard like breathing and I thought my microphone was picking up me, and I was like, oh, and it's just my dog. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm like really trying to think here. What? No, I like this. I like where that's going. Okay, so we've got, it's a little tilted, but I don't mind that. See, if this was a human foot, like, it would sort of be like this, and I feel like just because like our toes spread and everything, it would work a little better, but because it's a hoof, I don't think I can kind of, because what I'm doing is I'm drawing this part here as the hoof, because piggies don't have little piggy toes, so we'll make it work. And I think what we could do here is, let me think, we could tilt the sign or like one way or the other to kind of, that would be kind of cool actually. I'll think about it though, but well, for now we'll just put a mark here and put a mark there. This is somewhere in here is where the post is going to be for the sign. Okay, so let's get back to actually gonna make his ribs like way bigger. Let's go like totally wild. Am I allowed to do that? Oh man, I was reading some of the New 52 DC comics. Batman's my favorite. And holy giant freaking rib cage Batman. Man, his ribs are big in some of those drawings. Like he's just like whoa, like it's funny because he's all like big at the top, like whoa, like that, and then he's just got little tiny feet, and he's all yeah. I think like Robin like tucks himself up in here, like under in that like huge abdomen gap. He's just got the tiny feet, like little chicken feet. Oh, you know what we should do? We should give him a bucket of lava. Again, for those who don't know, this is a Zisteau thing. I actually feel like this is just turning into Emmy does fan art, but that's okay. Hopefully you can still get something out of this. Also, I should mention, because usually I have a little bit more clearer instructions about what folks would like me to correct, you know. But he kind of just made it sound like I could do whatever I wanted. So here we go. Here's us doing whatever we want. Let's drop gloppy lava over the top. Oh shit. I just heard my husband shut the cat out of the bedroom. Battery's shutting the door because he can hear me talking. Whoopsie. Okay, gloppy lava. Cool. That looks really cool. Okay. So nipples would be here. I would recommend adding the nipples unless, you know, this is that swimming anime. Also, I have a bunch of new subscribers. Hello, new peoples. I'm pretty sure they're here from Seamus's recommendation, or however he mentioned me. I'm not sure how. Thank you, Shamus. I appreciate it. Let's also, I'm sorry for how sketchy this is. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I feel like I've said this already in this video, but if I haven't, yeah, I'm sort of doing this the way I would do like my own drawings, like how I would start. Well, this isn't quite how I would start a drawing, but I usually start my drawings with Jin and Hooker. Woo! Okay. Don't worry if you can't draw straight lines. Just don't draw them. So isn't that cool now? Like we've got like this nice kind of box shape now that's like at a more of like an angle. Okay, and then let's draw the sign like bending backwards. Sorry, I have a habit of putting like motion lines and stuff into my drawings because of comics. Oh, I'm sorry. So, anyway, then we'll write Kim. Wait, no, that's like a G. Kim. Get some. Something like that. Okay, so you'd write that on the sign. And then let's do his piggy angry face. I should mention that the original drawing was, I think, like about 2 by 5 inches or something. So I understand that, you know, in the original, you, if the artist is listening, you can't get this much detail into it, but, and I'm not even saying like you should just go through and like correct your original to match mine specifically, but hopefully these are like some tips, I guess, or recommendations on, well, on like things, like ways you can improve the next time you work on something like this. Okay, so let's put our muscled pig man back together. Just clean up some of this. Yeah, I like it. If you hadn't have guessed. Because trust me, if I didn't really like it, I'd be redrawing it already. I'd be re-recording this episode. I don't know if I've ever re-recorded a Redline Tuesday. I think generally I just kind of go with it, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. I think I've stopped a few episodes to like look at a ref real quick to make sure that like I wasn't telling you guys just a bunch of crap, basically. But I think overall, I just try to go with the flow, and I figure I'll learn on the fly the same way that, you know, yins are learning on the fly. I wish that I had more time to sit down and just make a study of art. I feel like in some ways I kind of squandered my college years a little bit in that I, I don't know if I would say that maybe because like for those of you who've been in college, you know that it's just like a constant barrage of information. And it wasn't until like after I got out of school that I felt like I had time to just like take a breath and slow down and sorry about my microphone, like think about what I was hearing, you know, as opposed to just like, you know, just chugging through everything and just, you know, okay, yeah, draw a torso, okay, and then we'll draw a flower and then, you know, do still lifes and paint, and, you know, you're just like, it's just like a constant barrage of information and drawings, and, you know, you're just like, oh, overload, you know. I also felt to some degree my college didn't set up a very good artistic foundation necessarily. I felt like there were some really practical tips they could have given us that either the professors didn't know or they didn't think was relevant at the time. And a lot of professors just assumed that certain students knew how to use the materials, and they didn't. And you know, there's just little things like that. Like I remember, we had a few people who like had no idea how to use paint, you know, but they had to take a painting class to complete their degree. And it's not really any fault of the teachers, you know, they've been doing it for years. It's kind of the same way that like I forget you guys aren't familiar with Photoshop, so I have to like stop and think, okay, well, like how would I do this if I had no idea what Photoshop was or how to use Photoshop, you know? But here's like an embarrassing example for me is I had never really used pencils to draw, like lead to like shade images. I mean, like I've used pencils to draw, but I hadn't really like used a set of different gradient leads and graphite to lay down textures and lighting and things like that. I had always either done it with like charcoal, or I just didn't worry about it that much. I was more interested in the anatomy and like line drawing like this. But the teacher was like, I had to do something for him in lead, and I did it, and it actually turned out decent. Like I kind of just muscled through it and sort of figured it out as I went, but it was pretty obvious to him that I did, you know, when I had to turn the assignment in, and he didn't like grade me down for it. He just said, have you ever used pencils like this before? And I was like, nope. You know, but he was like, oh, okay. And, you know, and he kind of gave me a refresher, not even a refresher course, like a, you know, pencil shading 101. Because I generally just, you know, like I said, just do line art, or I shaded with color in some way or another. Like I was using like ink and markers and things like that, but never graphite. I never particularly liked the texture of it, or the fact that if you didn't treat it just so, like if you didn't spray it or keep it in a certain protective way, it would eventually the graphite will wear down and things like that. So I was never like a huge fan of it, but anyway. Okie dokie, so in all that babbling, oh, excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry, I had to check on something. Anyway, that dog of mine. So in all that babbling, I kind of roughed out some more of the anatomy. I'm trying to add some abs here. Oh, okay, so I have a tip for abs. And then, so I'm trying to remember, like, oh well, whatever. Anyway, so like a lot of times I see people do abs like, okay, here's the top of the ribs, here's the waist on our dude, and there's the belly button. A lot of times when I see people do abs, they just like draw lines, which is fine for like the sketch, but how I recommend doing this is, okay, so we'll like, this is our sketchy line, like pretend that's our sketch line right there, that dotted line. So you're going to find your belly button, and generally just a little above or a little below is where the first set of, like, so I think this is about right. It's been a little while since I've drawn abs, but the first set of abs will be here. And how I recommend drawing them is, instead of drawing like lines straight across and up and down to make that grid work, is to sort of make like a little diamond and then another little diamond. And then from there, you can kind of shade out and up like that to do the abs. Oh, my husband just got up and my dog is like, oh, daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. We'll go see him. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with this episode anyway. So, okay, so that's like how my tip on doing abs. And then you can also, I'll just get a little soft brush. So then you can just like shade them, you know. As opposed, this is kind of like female abs a little bit, but as opposed to drawing these deep like cuts or grooves in the body. I'm not saying the original artist did that. I'm just saying like for future reference for yins. Okay, so that's kind of like a way to do abbles, and I think that's good. I like it. I think he's kind of got little short, bitty, itty bitty, pitty feet, but I don't mind that necessarily. I think it's kind of cool looking. It kind of animates. I always think that looks cool. Like it looks like he's moving or something. But anyway, so let us thank Chrsuppan for their awesome contribution of a Zisteau. These ribs are kind of badly drawn. Don't look at them. It's just, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? I'm ruining the ribs. Ooh. Okay, no, Emy, sorry, stop shading while you're ahead. Okay, so that is our Redline Tuesday for this week. As always, keep sending them in to emy.bitner at IntroducingEmy.com. I think I've got about 18 to 20 left before I'm out. So, yeah, keep sending them in. Alright, cool. I'll see you guys later. Bye!